Hi, everyone. My name is Tony Schmidt. I am a gratitude coach and social media consultant here in the Philadelphia area. It's a little freezing cold up here. Winter is on its way. And I'm here with the amazing, wonderful, fantastic Coach Andrew. Andrew
Woohoo!
Bro, right? Am I
Yes.
saying your name correctly?
Yes, that is correct.
And he is fantastic. How did we meet?
I
Did we
think
meet
we
on
met,
Blab? No,
I think we met on
Periscope.
Periscope.
That's
Periscope,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Because
Back in
you
the
were,
day.
it feels like it. It was like what, 6 months ago, right?
Yeah, 6 months ago. Yeah, yeah. Periscope was just launching, and I started connecting with a bunch of people. And
Tim's here, right, Tim?
yeah, I don't know. I think we were probably both attending somebody's show and connected with each other there.
No,
So,
no. I think somehow I started following you and I came on your scope and you had all your boys. They were like climbing all over you. Remember?
oh, right. I do remember that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I started talking to you and telling you your boys are cute, and I don't remember what the topic was.
Oh, we were just goofing around. I'd only been on Periscope for a couple of days. We were sitting on my couch at home,
Yeah,
and yeah, my kids were just crawling around. We
yeah.
didn't even know what we were doing back then. We had no clue. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it was awesome. And then we just connected from there and we just started following each other and the rest is history. But
Yeah,
Andrew and I have been talking about social media and he's trying to really expand his business. He's working full time and growing his business on the side, doing some other stuff. Definitely have the entrepreneur spirit to you. And in addition to that, you have a few things going on at home. Just
yeah,
a
just a
few.
few, just a few. Yeah, I got three little boys, ranging from 2.5 to 7. So I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old who is actually going to turn 5 the day after Thanksgiving. So
Oh,
he's almost
wow.
5. So he's a 5-year-old. And then of course my 2.5-year-old son, and we have a little one on the way coming in April of
Hey,
2016.
maybe it'll come
So
on my birthday.
yeah, when's your
You know
birthday?
if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
We'll find out on the 17th of
You are going to
December.
find out?
Yep. So it'll be posted all over social media, I'm sure,
Yeah, yeah.
by the 18th or the 19th,
Oh
you
my gosh.
know.
My friend has 3 boys and a little girl. Their
Okay.
fourth was a little girl.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 2 friends like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's what we're all hoping for. I mean, my boys, at the end of every single day, we end our day with our bedtime prayers and a song before they go to bed. And every single day, it's the same exact prayer. It's Dear Jesus, please help the baby come soon and help it be a girl. So, and
which I'm
both of them
sure is your
taking
wife's prayer
turns.
as well.
I think so. Yeah, she's and mine as well. I mean, we definitely want a little girl in the family.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
but God knows, if we need
Yeah,
another boy, we'll have
that's what
another
it's
little
going to be,
boy.
right?
And yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing, what you're struggling with,
sure.
why you thought this was a good idea, and what I'm sure that there's things that you're struggling with that other people are struggling with as well as an entrepreneur trying to do a million things.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So, wow, where to start? So first off, I work full time in higher education. I'm in support staff in higher education. So that keeps me very, very busy. Now, it has slowed down a little bit because my former role had me working sometimes 60 to 80 hours a week. I was salaried
Mm-hmm.
and just putting in a ton of hours. And then a couple years ago, that all changed. I went back to hourly, which was great. I was told I could only work 40 hours a week, which was awesome. So I had more time on my hands. But kind of where I found myself was, mid 30s, and I'm the sole provider for my family. My wife is a full time stay at home homeschool mom, and that's been her dream since she was like 11 years old. And I wanted to be able to enable her to be able to do that. And so we made a choice, even before we got married, that I would be the sole provider. I would be the one earning the income. And, I get paid fairly decent for my position. I get paid pretty well, but it's still not enough to raise a family of 6. You have 6 people. And it's just not enough. And I knew I had to do something different. I just didn't know what that was. And then 2 years ago, one of my coworkers introduced me to network marketing, and I had heard of network marketing before, but I never understood it. I didn't know what it was. I was really scared of it because of all of the people I saw on, whether it was social media or you ran into them at church or at the mall, and they were chasing you down going, "Hey, I got this great product. You got to buy it from me." And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. And so when
do you want to meet for coffee? My life is
right.
fantastic. I just started this yesterday, and my life is fantastic.
Exactly. Yep. So what was different this time, because I've heard the pitch several times throughout my life, and what was so different this time was that my friend was coming to me with a solution for a bigger problem in my life. And she was not pushy. She said, "Hey, just sit down with me and just take a look at what we're doing." And they were actually doing very, very well. In fact, just shortly after she introduced me to this company that I'm with, they ended up hitting a level that she was able to retire from her work here at the college. And I mean, they were making over $5,000 a month in network marketing. It was fantastic. And I'm like, okay, if this super shy, quiet person who doesn't like to talk to people, if she can make $5,000 a month in network marketing, like, I'm going to kill this thing. Like, this is awesome. And I found myself right away, like, really struggling with the business aspect of network marketing, because I'm like, okay, I have my hands on this amazing solution for people that a lot of people are looking for. So many people looking for answers or for a good strategy. And I'm like, I have my hands on this amazing strategy and I just don't know how to make it work. So I kind of started turning to social. And during that time, through that process, is when I learned about the coaching industry. I started looking at, I thought I wanted to be a health coach. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so interested in health and wellness. I should become a health coach. So got really interested about health coaching. And it took me about maybe about a year of kind of following that path, reading books and trying to learn as much as I could. And all of a sudden I realized that there are so many people that are struggling with their health. They're struggling with their finances. They're struggling with their relationships. And I'm like, I don't want to be a health coach. I want to be a life coach. I want to help people to be able to see the bigger picture, to say, here's where I'm at, and I'm okay. I'm accepting where I'm at, but there's where I want to go, and how do I get there? So I want to help people create roadmaps so that they realize it really is possible to live the life of their dreams. And so got really excited about that, started reading a lot of books, started learning a lot of different tools. So I've got like 3 different things going on, right? I've got my full-time job. I'm trying to break into this network marketing thing that I got going on the side, and also try to be a life coach at the same time. And it's really crazy. It's definitely crazy, but I make my family a priority. So I tend to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I do all my entrepreneurial work.
Do you do what I do, and you like tiptoe? I have to get that window before like 6, because if they hear any of like the floorboards moving around like 6, then they'll wake up. So I have to get downstairs to the computer. And sometimes I'm like, if you hear a noise and you're like in the hallway and all of a sudden you hear a noise and you're like, oh no, I got to get an hour of work in. They're like, please don't wake, because if you wake one kid, then you wake all of them, right?
Oh, right. So what I do is I get out my door and I reach across the hall really quietly and I shut their bedroom door. Because they have
to have the hallway nightlight on.
Yeah. So I creep down the hall and we have all hardwood floors and it's an older
house. Me too.
Yep. So you're stepping and the floorboards are creaking while you're walking. You're like, oh, I think I heard somebody stir. And then you try to
please no. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I think that's when I pray the most. I'm like, God, I just need to get my meditation in. Please let me get my coffee before they wake up. Please.
Yeah.
I hear you. Awesome. I'm sure other people can identify with that.
Sure. Yep. But I realized I can't work in the evenings, because what ends up happening is I go home, I'm making dinner and I want to spend that time with my family before my kids get into bed. And I feel horrible if I don't spend that time with them. And then by the time I get them into bed,
You're
I'm
exhausted.
so dead tired. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm done. And then I don't get as much done as I wanted to. And then I feel like I'm inadequate. So if I get it done in the morning, I have this massive win in the morning. I write a blog post or I shoot a video or I do something in the morning. I'm like, yeah, that was my win. And I just soar on that for the whole rest of the day.
I'm a morning person
awesome.
too. Some people get a lot of their stuff done at night.
Yeah.
But for me, I do my best stuff in the morning because I feel like by that time of night, my brain is just not functioning.
Sure.
Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your awesome story. I'm so excited to see all the amazing things you're going to create and do. I love your energy. I love that you're always smiling and that you want a great life for your kids. And you know that there's more, and maybe, putting in your time now is going to give you more time with your kids in a few years, which I have no doubt you're going to make that happen. So what you're looking for now, it sounds like, is to simplify things and get leads fast, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel confident that I can help you do that. Oh, who do we have here? Jillian Glancy. Hi, Jillian. Thank you so much for joining in here, guys, and a couple other people too. Nikki, welcome, Nikki. All right, so what I think that I was looking at your website. And, there's a lot of people in network marketing that are doing, have a blog and that are doing life coaching and that it's working really well for them. And so I think you're on the right path, but what you have to be careful of is that you're not having like too many buckets opening and you're not doing anything right.
Sure.
It's because that entrepreneur mindset is like, oh, I'll go for a run. And then you come up with I'll go for a run to clear my head. And then you come up with 5 new ideas, right?
Exactly.
So what I'd like to help you with is to start really creating that funnel where you're generating leads effectively and then putting in the time so that eventually it's happening kind of for you passively. And you can make these videos and make these blog posts and people are coming to it while you're spending time with your children, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the first thing, what would you say are your biggest struggles, like business-wise, social media-wise?
Yeah, that's a good question because I've been in this process over the last several months, and I've actually kind of got a pretty good flow now of what I'm doing. Although I still don't have the amount of time that I want to be able to spend on it. But one of the things that I've done recently is I had been trying to use everything, right? I've been trying to use Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and I was spending all my time on social media. And it was killing me because I was spending a lot of time sharing a lot of great content, but it's not converting anyone, right? Nobody's actually coming to me for coaching. No one's actually joining my network marketing opportunity. And so I'm like, okay, so what is it that I need to really focus on? And obviously it's getting new team members. It's bringing more people in and showing them, that what we have is really going to answer that pain point in their life or be a good solution or a good strategy. Because there's a lot of great strategies out there, and I know there's a lot more than just our strategy. There's a lot of great strategies out there, but it's finding those people that look at our strategy and go, wow, I can make that work for me. Or that is exactly what I'm looking for, just like I did. And the biggest thing is actually getting them to see the opportunity. Because when people see it, I think it's like Steve Jobs said, people don't know what they want until they see it. And so that's kind of where I'm at is, okay, how do I use social to invite people to see it? So one of the things that I started doing is I started using Buffer. I don't know if you're familiar with Buffer. It's a social media scheduling app, I guess you could call it. And so I started using Buffer to post all of my posts throughout the day that are sharing great content. It's not all my content. A lot of it's content from other coaches and people that I follow that I really respect. And then periodically inviting people in to come take a look at what I'm doing. So now you saw the other day, actually, when you reached out to me was because of a promoted post that I did. And I was just kind of playing around with testing some promoted posts. And so I've done it twice now. And actually what's really, really interesting, because I've been learning a lot about marketing and a lot about copywriting. And what was very, very interesting.
Are you hearing that noise? Or is it just me?
Maybe just you.
It's saying Get Ortho something has been added, and it's like this loud chime.
Oh, no, I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Must be a background screen on yours. On
It
your
must be something.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. So yeah, let's see. I lost my train of thought there.
So Buffer, you were doing the promoted post for Facebook.
Right. So it was on the promoted post. So what was really interesting to me was that when I told people my very first one, actually the ad that you reached out to me after you saw it, which was the one where I said what I wanted. Like, I want to help 1,000 families to get debt free. That's been one of my goals that I really feel was kind of divinely inspired. I was sitting up at the altar at church one day and just really stressed out because of my own finances. And I was just kind of crying out, and I was like, God, I don't want anybody to go through what I'm going through right now. Like, this is just so stressful, and I don't want anybody else to have to deal with this. And I just kind of just kept feeling in my head this, not really like an audible voice, but kind of in my own spirit or whatever. I just kept kind of hearing this voice going, what do you want? What do you want? And I'm like, I'm telling you what I want. I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
And, but I kind of still kept hearing that. And I just blurted out all of a sudden. And I was just like, God, I want to help 1,000 people, 1,000 families to get debt free. And so I kind of started to build my Facebook page around that idea. And I said that in my first ad. I said, I want to help 1,000 people to get debt free. And here's just one of the strategies I'm using to do that. And what was interesting is I got really great, well, I shouldn't say great because I didn't get any conversions on it, but I did get a lot more clicks on it than my latest ad, which, let me bring it up here real quick. Let's see, what's the fastest way to find this? Insights. Sorry, this will just take a second.
It's okay. Hey, Paul, welcome to the Blab. Thanks for joining us.
So I promoted another post, and this is what I said on this one, and this one's almost done. But I said, I put together this webpage for one purpose: to help you with your life goals, finances, health, well-being, relationships. Are you ready to win? Come take a look and see what we can accomplish together. I actually got about half of the link clicks than the one where I said, I want to help 1,000 families to get debt free. So I found that really interesting. So I did kind of a little bit of a split test there to see what would convert. But once again, at the end of the day, and I love I don't know if you saw Dave Schrine's Periscope earlier. He had an amazing Periscope where he was saying, at the end of the day, it really gets down to, did you convert? Like, did you actually do something that was revenue generating? And so I think that's where I'm really struggling is, I know what I need to do. I don't feel like I have the time, the energy, or the team in place to be able to do what I need to do. So it's a very slow process, but I'm okay with that because I know what will happen if I stick with it. Mm-hmm. And like I know I need to capture emails. Like, I know I need to set up a landing page so that I can, when people come to visit, they can get their name and email in and say, yes, mm-hmm. I'm actually interested in your content. Mm-hmm. And then I can, start to be able to drip some of that information onto them and not just hit them with that page right from the beginning of, whoa, here's all of this information. So right now I'm kind of in survival mode. It's like, okay, I'm promoting what I have because I have it and I need to do something with it. But I know that there's a lot more that I can do.
All right. So first, all right, let's walk through some of the stuff. The first thing that I get a little bit confused about is when I go to your website, I know that you do financial goals. I know that you do some health and wellness. And then when I come to your website, it says show, share, connect.
Uh-huh.
All that seems confusing to me.
Sure. I need a better title at the top of that page.
Like show, share, connect almost seems like you're a social media consultant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I'm like, wait, he does financial stuff. He does health stuff. And then he does show, share, connect. I don't need to show, share, and connect. I just want help with financial goals. Mm-hmm. I'm confused. Yeah, I'm being like, I'm saying somebody, okay, like let's say Dan Jones comes on here and he wants help with his financial goals and it says show, share, connect. He would be confused, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So your personal story, I love that picture. I love your energy. I love when you do scopes and blabs. I think those are great platforms for you because you really come alive and you're great on those platforms. So I want you to continue to use those in the best way possible. This time of year is a great opportunity to start thinking about interns. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to be starting next semester and they're going to be looking for people to work with. So if you can have somebody, it's great to do, it's great that you have Buffer to put this stuff together, but you're the one having to put the stuff into Buffer, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you're creating all this great content, but if you could have an intern that would do some of this stuff for you, I think that would really help you. Because you're taking the time to create content for your blog. I didn't even check out your blog.
Which it's not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm at the very, very beginning stages of building my website, building my blog. So there's a lot of planning stuff in place. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of like one of those things where you take the leap and spread your wings as you're falling. And so hopefully I get my wings sprouted before I hit the bottom. So
okay. So I mean your blog can simply be these posts that you are I haven't done it yet, but I know you can put these blabs embed them right into your mm-hmm. Website. And it'd be great if you had somebody to just do that for you, right? Put that content in there for you. And when you do Periscope, you can use Catch Me. Are you using that?
Mm-hmm. I sure am.
Okay. So you have, that's all blog material. That's video blog material right there.
Sure.
You just need to get somebody to put that in there for you. And from there, they can even take away quotes and put it right on Twitter for you or put it on Facebook for you.
Yeah, right on.
So it's Catch Me. It's KATCHME. And it's a great resource. And that collects all your videos for you. I just went on there the other day and I was like, oh, this is so cool how it collects everything for you. Yeah. You mentioned your email list. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it's considered an app or a program, but it's if you Google Catch Me, you'll find it. It's very easy to set up. I set it up like really quickly, and it literally it's a great name for it because it catches your scopes and then keeps it.
Catch.me.
Catch.me. Great, thank you. Mm-hmm. You mentioned your email lists, and you mentioned conversion. How many email addresses do you have?
Other than my own? One.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. I'm at the base. I haven't even gotten to the foothills of the mountain yet.
Okay.
I can see the mountain of the foothills in the distance.
MailChimp would be the best one for you.
That's who I'm with.
Okay, good. Good. So you started.
Yes.
It's super easy. And once a month would be a great place for you to start. Sending out a newsletter. It won't take you that long, even if it's just a video, from Catch Me. I want you like 5 emails a week to get 5 emails a week from people that are interested in your service or people that you think could potentially be clients, people that are interested in getting help with their financial goals. And, your email lists, your email newsletter can be testimonials, it can be tips, it can be so many things. And the great thing about your email list is that differentiates the people who are really interested in what you have to offer and need what you have to offer. Especially once you get to the point of having a page, a pop-up where people subscribe to your email list. If they care enough about you to subscribe to your email list, then that's a hot lead for you.
Sure.
So you need to follow up with them and you need to turn them into a client, right?
Exactly.
So that's why the email conversion is so important. I mean, you're not going to get a whole bunch of leads from a tweet you send out.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I haven't gotten any.
Right. So I always say social media is your fuel and your email list is your fire. So start getting people on that email list so that you can grow your business and send people through that sales funnel.
Awesome.
All right. What else? Your Facebook business page. You have a Facebook business page set up. Mm-hmm. That's how you're able to do the Facebook advertising. Mm-hmm. Be cautious. Facebook advertising can be really great, but it can also be a great way to suck your wallet without you getting conversions.
Yeah, definitely.
So be really careful, because either have somebody help you with it, or else if you have the time to study like what you're doing, don't just keep putting money into it without really thinking about having a strategy in place, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, right on.
So that's why I gave you some suggestions the other day about the words that you're using in your post. I love the picture that you have. Facebook advertising can be a really powerful tool when it's done correctly, because you can target just the right people.
Right.
Which is really powerful. So I love that you were open enough to have the message be sent to you, to have clarity on what you need and what your biggest gift is to other people, and that's helping people financially. Because so many people are like floundering, like, what is my passion? What am I good at? How can I help people? What should I do? And the fact that you were given that message is so awesome and amazing. I think that's where you can still do the other stuff. I mean, there's so many other people out there and businesses that are doing a couple things, but you want to be careful. You don't want to look like you're doing, like you're an expert in everything, or nobody's going to take you seriously. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, right on.
So, getting clarity on that, and, really finding out what your strengths are, and also getting testimonials from your clients can also give you clarity back regarding what your strengths are and help you navigate. I mean, maybe next month you're like, oh, it's, it needs to turn this way, or it needs to turn that way. Getting those testimonials and finding those keywords can be really helpful. I know it's been really helpful for me, because people are like, oh, you're really great at blah, 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 and you helped me with blah, blah, blah. And when you hear that a couple times and they're using those same words, then you're like, oh, okay. That's what I need to focus on. So I've been LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn, right?
I sure am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, LinkedIn. I usually tell people to focus on 2 platforms, especially if you don't have a whole lot of time.
Sure.
Having the buffer set up where tweets are going out is good. But I think Facebook and the, Blab or Periscope, it sounds like they're your best platforms right now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I
started getting a lot more engagement and a lot more people following me once I started doing, once I started doing streaming video. So when I started using Periscope, I was getting anywhere from 5 to 6, sometimes 7, 8 people a day that were following me on Twitter, not on Periscope, but it would come over to Twitter. And then I would have people start interacting with me through Twitter. So I used to not use Twitter barely forever. I mean, I had a Twitter account for
I know, me too.
5 or 6 years, and it was just kind of sitting there. And all of a sudden, it became like my go-to to communicate with people, especially via direct messages. So people would reach out to me, or I'd reach out to them. And the next thing I know, we've started this conversation. So that's been really, really awesome. And that is starting to happen again. I've only been using Buffer now for about a week. And so I found that was really, really, what was really interesting is so I've taken a couple of courses with Sandy Krakowski. I don't know if you're familiar with Sandy Krakowski.
Mm-hmm. She has like red hair, I think.
Yeah, she's got like a pink,
crazy hair,
kind of pink colored hair in the front. Yeah. So I've taken several classes with her. The most recent one was her class on using social media specifically for network marketers, like how to use social media, which is why you're seeing me do some of the things I'm doing right now via social or via my Facebook page. So started doing that. Of course, I can't put everything that she teaches into my strategy yet, because part of it is like spending $10 a day in promoted posts and some of that to get the engagement on your page, which I can't do $10 a day. That's just not possible. Now, if
she makes it sound so inexpensive.
I know, right? Well, it's inexpensive if you're making $100 a day from the $10 a day that you spend. So it's, it works, but you do have to be at that place where you have enough things in place that you're actually going to get conversions, which really right now, it's kind of like, and I've been learning a lot about this and like teaching a lot of people about this as far as like, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit every time. And it's like, it's not that I'm not aiming at something. It's just that I'm aiming through very, very dim light. So it's very, very hard to hit your target. And I know, like I said, I know the key, I know the pieces of the puzzle that need to be in place, but I also can't afford to wait till every single piece is in place before I start playing the game. Like I've got to start something. I got to start moving forward, which means conversions, which means people have to know, how can I help them earn extra money? And because really that's what it comes down to, right? Is the majority of people are like, hey, if I just had a little bit more income coming in, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this thing here. And so that's what most people really, when you get down to it, most people are looking to earn more money, but they're not going to get it at their job. So that means my new strategy has to be multiple streams of income. And of course, I think the hardest part is getting it rolling. And so you kind of feel like you're pushing the semi up the hill by yourself, and you're trying to get other people to come push it with you, because once you get it to the top and you get it rolling down the other side, everybody's going to jump on and you're just going to enjoy the ride. And it's going to be awesome. And so right now we're pushing and getting all those building blocks into place and getting everything set to go. I'm excited about where I'm going. I love the fact that I'm connecting with amazing people like you, Tony, who are willing to help me out and give me some suggestions. And they've been really, really great. That's
awesome. You have 784 people who like your page, which is awesome. I think it would be great to, I love your hashtags. And like I said, I don't know, you just have like such a presence. Your smile, you have a glow about you. And I always say, they say like people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Hey, Robert, good to see you on here. So I think that picture of you should be on your website, because you have that on all your platforms and people can see that. I guess Sandy or Sandra?
Sandy Krakowski?
Sandy, yeah. She probably gave you some insight into how to do that Facebook ad, and how to use put your website in there, or maybe you're just doing it yourself. Either way, I like the way it looks because you're using 2 paragraphs. You're putting your hashtags in there. I might have done less hashtags, maybe just 2 hashtags, but I liked what you're doing. And I like how you're putting your website in there. I would also encourage you to do some of your own pictures and your own quotes.
Mm-hmm.
So many life coaches, we're using everybody else's quotes, which is great. But it's good to start using your own. And that's something that an intern or maybe a niece or a nephew or somebody that can help you out can go on Canva and do some pictures for you, help you out a little bit, or a VA if you can. If you think about if you're really committed and you want to start this business and you think about what a lot of people do when they start a business, like let's say they start a bakery and they have to buy all that stuff for the bakery. They have to buy the storefront. They have to buy the signs. They have to buy all that stuff. And a lot of times we have to put what is the saying? Put the cart before the horse or whatever. And I had a friend call me the other day and she's like, I want to do a Facebook ad for my event this weekend and I want to put $10 out. Can you help me do the ad real fast so I can put $10 out? And I'm like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work that way. Like, first of all, I can't just put an ad together that quickly without knowing what your event's about and without having an image. And also $10 is only going to give you a certain amount of people. So if you are, let's say you're doing paper materials, mailers in a community and you're going out and you pay $10 to get however many houses, 10 houses, you're probably not going to generate that many leads. Facebook advertising is the same thing. You pay for how many people you're getting. But it sounds like you do have a strategy in place with what Sandy's telling you to do and how to grow your Facebook presence. And it seems like that's working. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been working really well. Yeah, one of the things I think was key here that you mentioned was because the ad that I've created, or actually the post that you were looking at is the one that I've pinned to the top. So that one is not actually an ad yet. It's not been boosted yet. I had an issue with my credit card earlier today, which is a whole nother story. But unfortunately, my credit card is shut down for a moment for the time being. But I'll have it back in a couple of days. So that one actually isn't being promoted. It's just pinned to the top of my page, but that is my the next one that I'm going to promote. I think it's a good mashup between the two different ones that I did. I think it's got the best elements of the two things I did. And so what you were saying is, like, when you actually click on it, it takes you to that opportunity page, which is actually not for my life coaching business now, but actually for my network marketing opportunity. And so I need to really focus on the kind of the splash portion of this page, or that top banner where it does say the show, share, connect, because the reason that that's there, and no one's going to understand this, so that was very enlightening that you brought that to my attention, because the reason that that's there is that is our system, if you will, is show, share, and connect. And so originally when I built this page, the idea was not to create ads to get people here, but to actually physically meet people, hand them a card, let that take them to this page. So there's no other way to this page online unless you have a link for it. So it's not linked to my website in any way, like there's no visible link. So eventually there will be, I just haven't quite figured out the best way to get that there. I might password protect that page so that in order for people to unlock it, once again, I'm going to capture their name, email address, and they'll receive the password to unlock the page. That way I know that they're really interested in seeing a strategy that's going to help them earn some extra finances. So I think right now I definitely need to work on what people see when they first arrive. Would you agree with me there that when people first arrive, I need something more than what you see? Because you see show, share, connect, which, like you said, is not any way connected with that ad that I've created. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go. Robert would tell you that you don't need to focus on your website necessarily. So it depends on what you're going for. Robert, you're welcome to come in here if you'd like. Not that you ever like talking or anything. Oh, that took him a long time. You've met Robert before, right, Andrew?
Never in person.
Robert!
I haven't met you in person before. So
How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing fantastic.
My little gratitude girl.
It's an honor to meet you, Robert.
I appreciate you, Robert.
Well, the funny part is there was a lot of changes over the past month and a half. So I have a website.
Do you?
Yeah, and it's actually a very extremely active site right now with a lot of giveaways and freebies, and because I now have a partner in my business, and he lives in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay.
So we actually now have a global company.
Very cool. That's awesome.
So that's why I was laughing when you said it. I went, "Oh God, she doesn't know."
You know, I haven't even seen. I've been trying to stay off Blab a little bit because I had so many other things to do. I haven't even talked to you lately.
Labs. I don't know what you're doing on at that time in the morning.
Yeah, you're a night owl. I'm
I
a
was
morning
up till
person.
4 a.m. last night.
I know,
Well,
you're crazy like that.
That's what time I was getting up.
The thing was, I stayed up because I had work to do, but I actually had Blab on, but I wasn't talking to anybody.
Oh, wow.
I actually had a Blab on, and I had 80s music blaring on YouTube, and I had on the title, "Come on in, listen to music, get your work done. I'm not talking." And I had 32 people in the room, and everybody was listening to music, occasional chat, and they would talk, and it was everybody was working. It was like a work study.
That's funny. That's great. So
what's the question?
So Robert brings up a good point. So he is collaborating, okay? Because when you're one person, whether you hire an intern or you work with other people, there's definitely power in numbers. And that's why, he's doing that so that he can work with somebody else and grow his business. So that's something I would maybe encourage you to think about too. Not necessarily a partner, but who you can collaborate with, because there's power and strength in numbers, right, Robert?
Big time. Big time. There's so many things you can be collaborating with, talking with. Biggest thing I tell people that, social media is made for engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what platform, Facebook, your Facebook page, your profile page, any of that. The idea is to have conversations with them and get them on the phone.
Yeah. Love it.
Have a conversation with somebody. Mm-hmm. And let's get engaged. Thanks, Melody. Not that kind of engaged. I mean, you have probably one of the most engaging people that just came in this Blab. Chocolate Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate Johnny's here.
Johnny, he's in the house. Look at that.
Wow.
I love your stuff, man.
I know, me too.
He is an engaging guy. He talks to people. He talks not at them. He talks with them.
Yeah.
He does.
And you want to
come on in. Come on in. There's an open seat.
That he does that I admire. I try to do it, and sometimes I may do it. Sometimes I may not. But I admire that. He goes out of his way to help people. I mean, he heard a story of one person was a bad story, and he hooked her up with somebody else that was going through the same type of situation. He's constantly giving and helping and everything. And if you think about it, he's not doing it for business. He's not doing it because that's just the type of person he is. But because of that, everybody knows him because he knows he's a giver. He knows he's already there to help. So when he does come on to talk about business, people listen. I'm not saying they're all going to order from him and everybody's going to order chocolate and everything. Oh, Johnny, get in here. My brother from around the world, who I cannot wait to meet in May.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to Australia. I think I'll stay.
Nice.
I think I'll stay at Johnny's house. Oh, wait, he doesn't know.
I'm sure he appreciates the warning.
Yeah, wait, he's coming in to tell me.
You've
Nope.
been warned.
He's telling me I ain't staying there.
What's going on with this?
Here he comes.
Is it on? Can you
Sometimes
see
he's-
me?
Look out.
He's got Wi-Fi. And
He's
stuff.
changing his locks.
As long as he doesn't change the chocolate.
Is it? Can you hear me, or is it going?
But yeah, he's a giver, and you know something. The people that give, it all comes back, and the same thing goes on yours, Andrew. Be there, talking to people, constantly giving them information, constantly giving out information, constantly helping other people, and it all comes back. And then you learn to collaborate with other people. I mean, Tony and I were talking one time about some stuff. I was trying to help her do some things. I wasn't charging her. It was little stuff. I'm just trying to help out, and that's what it is.
Helping each other.
We all help each other, and at some point down the line, if Tony had need for me, she'd call me.
Right on.
Not because, well, hopefully she thinks I'm the best, but not because I might be one of the better ones, but because she remembers that I did take the time and help her when I didn't even ask her for anything. I wasn't
You are the
asking
best.
for anything in return. Only thing I asked from John is a little bit of his house and a little bit of chocolate, you know.
Just a little bit.
Oh, Johnny, your internet's not working well. Your Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi. No
Trying
Wi-Fi.
to get him in here.
Yeah.
But
his side.
so did you you were here for a little bit and you heard Andrew talking about his struggles as an entrepreneur. He has three boys at home and one on the way. So his time is limited and he has a full-time job and he's trying to get his business off the ground. So he's found, he really wants to help people financially and wants to build a community and is just looking for tips to keep things simple and really make the most of his time.
Exactly.
That's a toughie, because, a business is a business.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to, it's kind of like starting out as part-time, but at some point you may have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, 4 boys, you got another boy on the way?
We're not sure yet.
Okay.
We'll find out in December.
I didn't know if you were trying out for the starting 5 of a basketball team or something.
People keep asking me that, but
Well, if not, you have men's doubles to play against each other.
That's true.
That's true. But what the biggest thing is being consistent no matter what you do.
Right on.
That's going to be the biggest part. And as a life coach, I'm sure you say that also. It's about being consistent and being true to yourself.
Yeah.
So it really boils down, in my opinion, how much you want it. And you may not, we always say with kids, and I know Tony can understand this, it's not only about the quantity of hours that you spend with your kids, it's about the quality of those hours that you spend with them.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing goes about your business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the quantity, because you don't have the quantity. You have the other job. You have a family. You got another baby, which means no sleep.
Right.
Which isn't a bad thing, because, you could have the baby in one hand.
Yeah. And
Are you a righty or a lefty?
I'm a righty.
Okay, so you learn to hold the baby in your left hand.
Yeah.
And you get one of those bottles or something that can lean up against you, so that your other hand's still free with the mouse, that you can still be working in the night because you're up anyway.
Right. Yeah.
You might as well as learn to multitask.
Yeah.
But
just like women have done all these years.
Exactly. And single dads.
Yeah. All right.
But it's all about literally, make use of the time you have.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritize those things.
Yeah, for me, it's giving up. I've given up a lot of things. I never watch TV.
Right.
I've given up
Periscope, not because of that.
No, but I really
television for Periscope and Blap, really. But you're learning, so that's good.
But I have a mastermind group, an accountability buddy, and that helps me stay focused too, because it's really easy to get distracted from what you're trying to do. I mean, I was waking up at 5 a.m. for a while, and for like 40 minutes, I was going on Facebook and just looking at posts and looking at a bunch of different things. That's 40 minutes. That's a lot. That's valuable time, especially as a single mom. Like I need that time. Mm-hmm. So I think just recognizing like, how are you spending your time, and are you spending your time efficiently, can really be helpful. I'm sure a lot of these guys in this group would attest to that, because we live in a distracting world.
Yes, very much so.
Sorry, Johnny, Chocolate Johnny. I'm sorry that you couldn't jump in here. I wish you could, but thanks for hopping in anyway.
But yeah, I would I would probably make a list each day of what are the most important things you need to do. And when I say that, it's not what you want to do, it's what you need to do each time. Right. Put it in a need first situation. Like, you need to work on your website, or you need to do things like that. You may want to make some phone calls, but you need to do other things first. You have to prioritize which ones are going to be the most important to you.
Right on.
Another thing I found to be really helpful too is if it's something, let's say it's an email or something that you like don't enjoy doing. Like this everybody kind of enjoys doing this, right? You go on, you talk to friends, it's kind of fun. But there's things that you don't enjoy doing. Like maybe you don't enjoy going on Buffer and loading up your Buffer, or you don't enjoy going through your business plan or something like that. Think about how long it's going to take you to accomplish that, and think about how you're going to feel once that's done.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
So,
and even Johnny just wrote something.
First.
Johnny wrote a great thing. The best thing that ever happened to him was he got someone that holds him accountable.
Yeah, that's good.
And I know his coach. Fantastic. Just bam, whips it. And
do you have a coach, Robert?
I actually do have a coach. She's up in Seattle. And she whips me into shape. She's the type that literally, if she doesn't like an idea, she tells me straight out, that's not going to work. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. And I look at her and I'm like, but she goes, no, next. She goes, that's, and because she knows me from interviewing me so much. So, and the thing is, if you are going to call yourself a coach, technically and almost ethically, you should have a coach. Because how do you go out preaching that you're a coach and how you can change the ways and the lives and help everybody if you don't even have a coach for yourself? And the thing is, I'm a believer, because there's so many different variations of coaches. I mean, I'm a social media coach. There's business coaches, there's life coaches, there's holistic coaches, there's nutrition coaches, there's sports coaches, there's every type of coaches out there. Money coaches, I found, you just because let's say somebody's working with me and they really got it down and they want to go off on their own, that's great. But now they can stop using a social media coach and maybe go to a coach in another area of their life. So that's kind of like a mini mastermind where you can get the coaches of the things that you need in priority of how they need them.
Right. And it's hard to see like the big picture, and a lot of times we'll go to our friends or we'll go to our family or people that we respect, people that are smart, and we'll ask them for business ideas and they know nothing about our business. Right.
Yeah.
So I think, it's good to have a business coach, especially, if you're like the breadwinner of the family, like the three of us are, you always have to be in charge and you always have to be on. You need some help. You need someone to be there for you and to support you and say, okay, you said that this is what you wanted, but you're not doing it. Or how can I help you make this happen? Mm-hmm. Those are the questions that, your wife can't answer, or whoever, is going to struggle with helping you with. So I think the business coach can be really a good asset as well. I agree with you.
You gotta just get a coach that you're comfortable with, and that's the whole thing. Interview coaches, because you know something. As much as a person is interviewing you to be a coach, to be their coach, you should be interviewing them to be your client. Because I don't care if they're going to pay you $3,000 a month to be their coach. If they're going to be a pain in the you know what, and they're going to cause you more stress than it's worth, the money's not worth it.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
Andrew, are you still here?
We scared him away.
Well, it says it's. Yeah, I think you need to refresh because it's showing poor internet signal on yours.
All right, you want me to bounce out and back in? Because I'm showing I'm showing fine on my end. I'm not sure why.
Is it?
All I can see is your shoulders.
Are you on the phone or computer?
No, I'm on an iPad, but I've got wicked awesome Wi-Fi where I'm at. So
it's not that. Sometimes the iPad is not the greatest, but I would refresh if I was you.
All right, let me jump out and back in.
All right.
How are you, Miss Tony?
I'm fantastic.
I miss seeing you.
I know, it's been a while.
I know. No red wall.
I know. Purple. It's my favorite color.
Yeah. All right. Am I back?
Now you need to change your profile picture. Yes, we can see you again.
I'm working on it. I'm getting new headshots done. But it will still have a red background. I've had that for 10 years. Not changing that.
That's your brand.
Yep, red profile. I don't have the red wall anymore, but the red profile.
Yeah, almost didn't recognize you. All right, guys, I have to get going, but I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with me here tonight. I hope that we were helpful. Robert, thank you so much for popping in. And
no problem. I saw you on. I was thrilled. It wasn't 7 a.m. It was 7 p.m.
I know. So, Andrew, what are you going to do this week? What are your biggest takeaways from this?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's several things already. I think I've got a really good idea of the direction that I need to go. Excuse me. Take a little drink here. I've been talking too much without drinking. There we go. One of the things is like, I love what you guys were saying about, every coach having a coach. And I totally agree with that. So over the last 2 years, and once again, I realized that this is a journey, right? So I'm at the beginning. And like I told you a little while ago, Tony, I feel like I'm just kind of hitting the foothills of the mountain. I'm not even to the mountain yet. I'm just in the foothills. And so I'm okay. I'm perfectly okay with this journey taking 5 to 10 years. I'm okay with that. Now, obviously, I needed to speed up the beginning just a little bit because I do want to get into this full time. And the only way to get into it full time is to have clients coming in. So right now, I am working. I'm very much a strategy guy. Strategic is one of my top 5. And I'm very much about when I see a strategy, I know it's a good strategy. I implement that strategy because I know I'm going to win if I have that strategy. And so I've been learning an incredible strategy from, I don't know if you're familiar with the author Crystal Paine. She is the author of Money Saving Mom or moneymakingmom.com, moneysavingmom.com. And she's really, really amazing. Wrote a book on the same idea. But the book that I'm reading by her right now is Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. And as soon as I read the title of that book, I was like, that's what I'm living. I'm living in survival mode. I need to read this book. And she made this book to entrepreneur moms or very busy moms that still want to make some money working from home. But it's exactly what I needed to hear. And so what I'm learning is because of the fact that I'm just naturally a servant, I want to serve other people. You see that inside of my tagline, teach, inspire, serve, and love. That's like my mission in life, is serving other people. And what can happen is it's really hard for me to say no. And what I learned from Crystal Paine so far through this book is, first of all, making a list of your personal priorities, your personal priorities list. These are the things that I must accomplish in order to get where I want to be. And from there, I am working on my best stuff list. So your best stuff list is, what is it going to take to actually meet those personal priorities? And it makes it so easy for me to say no to everything else that before I was having a hard time saying no to. Because now, if it doesn't line up with my own personal priorities and it's not on my best stuff list, I just say no. I need to work on this right now. So really, I think that my course of action right now, once again, is getting content into my website, really good content that's actually going to help people, because I feel like my primary source of income, believe it or not, is, at least at first, it's not going to come from coaching clients. I really believe that when I connect with people, they actually see what we can do for them financially through our networking opportunity. I know that that's going to take off. I know it. I've known it for 2 years. I can feel it in my bones. I just don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen because we have our hands on something that is revolutionary in a lot of ways. And there is a lot of people that are just skyrocketing it. From all intents and purposes, it would look like overnight success for a lot of them. And mostly because, once again, they saw a strategy that was simple and they could make it work for them. And so I think that's what I'm having trouble communicating to people, is I'm having trouble communicating to other people. We have a strategy that's absolutely brilliant, and if they come see it, they're going to say, I want that in my life. Because it's going to help them win on a lot of different levels, not just financially. It's going to help them win on a lot of different levels. So I feel like a lot of the content that I'm trying to put together on my website is serving people, and that through serving those people, I'm going to get people that are going to say, hey, okay, now I'm ready to work with you within this network marketing opportunity. We're going to come on board and we're going to go out and build the team.
Okay, that makes sense. I love it. Andrew, I cannot wait to see all the amazing things you're going to do and create. I love your passion. I love your energy. And, I can see that you're going to make a lot of things happen. And I'm sure that you sharing your story tonight helps a lot of people along the way. When Robert and I are kind of like looking at you crazy, we're having some trouble hearing you. So that's probably, don't think that we're like trying to, that we're being rude or anything, but
Next
you've been like in and out. When you're talking.
Try not to use the iPad. Use something else. I'm assuming you heard me because it's all muffled. Yeah, the iPad seems to be having the most problems.
Isn't?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat room, all you amazing people. Please join my Facebook group page called Gumption, Grace, and Gratitude. I'm putting that in the sidebar right here. If you're looking for gratitude in your life, not just in November when everybody's talking about it. But I always say I'm convinced that the most successful people in the world are not the most brilliant or the most talented. They have gumption, which Robert knows I love the word gumption. And that means they're brave enough.
I remember reading that. It was Miss Gumption.
But that means that they're brave enough to reach for what they want and find the resources they need to make it happen. So we send ourselves these stories that say we're not good enough, or we don't have the resources, or we don't have the things we need. And that's just a bunch of crap. Because especially in today's world, look at us right now. Look at all these resources we have in this room. And all the amazing people we have that can help each other. So whatever it is that you want and the goals that you have, I believe in you. I know you can make amazing things happen. And I'd love for you guys to join that page. And feel free to also follow Robert. Robert's awesome. Follow Coach Andrew. You guys can put your link in the side as well so people can follow you.
Yeah, I have a new thing that just came out today. It's on my page.
Oh, yeah? What are you doing?
It's a free social media content calendar planner
Nice.
for the whole entire year of 2016. So they can sign up and get it free right on the site right now. Because, of course, I'm on a tablet too, and it's not easy to type. Yeah, that's why you're going to my new webpage. It's been out a few weeks now. There she is.
There we go. There's your website.
Socialleader.us.
Very cool. Robert, thank you so much. Andrew, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic night.
See you
Stay
soon.
warm. Yes, sounds good. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.
We'll see you. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
You too. Bye, Andrew.
Bye-bye.